Links if you want to join the channel here over at subscribe to the various other links. So apparently Hollywood is still striking. like what? Hollywood? What the F is Hollywood? But nobody except some cat boys and soy cat ladies care about the mental soy slop for the cattle debt slaves. They have to have that constant distraction of lights and noise to keep from away from thinking about what a s-hole America has turned into or whatever personal issues. I gotta have more distractions. You don't understand. I can't be alone with my thoughts. Those dark thoughts. What happened to the meditating hippies of the 90s and the reduce, reuse, recycle? It's like, no, I got to have plastic water bottles. Yeah, that all kind of changed after 9/11 for some weird reason. No, you don't understand. We have to have more anal sodomy drag queen children on drugs who remove their genitals. It's stunning and brave. You just don't get it. You just don't. You troglodyte. What's that we call a person who lives out in the country? Oh God, unsophisticated. What's the word for the unsophisticated people that? Son of a bitch. You could pause it and look it up. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Wait, are you saying that there are shows about kids getting put on drugs and eating their... What's it's like non-prosaic? Prosaic versus... What's the opposite of prosaic? Damn it, there's like two words I'm missing. And eating their ability to procreate. Yeah, that's... You don't understand. That's actually... But if you remove your offspring, you have offspring, and you're removing your offspring's ability to create further buds on the branches, isn't that kind of a genocide? Yeah, that was the game plan the whole time. So yeah, it's all this stuff is actually happening. Gosh, somebody should do something. Well, they would, but it's sports ball season, and they're just too fat to get off the corn syrup couch with the built-in toilet and F-doll attachment. Maybe we should form groups and discuss this. Glow Ninja in the Trees says what? It's more tiresome than I had previously imagined. The look on that Chinese guy's face summed it up perfectly. Yes, I had to adjust on the fly for that word. Empire of Dust, America style. So what happened? There are 24 streaming shows, and they charge from $5 to, I don't know, 25, I think, for some like packages with the top service sans ads. And then there's bundles of stuff where it can be like over $100 for all this kind of your mental soy slop distractions. So usually you have people who are subbing to a few different services if they like movies and dog poop shows. I don't know what the average monthly is because I don't pay anything, but it adds up. People seem okay with paying for the soy slop ritual humiliation from the child abusing island adventure gang. And besides all that, they know how quick they are to turn on Drew Barrymore. Like, wait, isn't The View the same thing? They're still filming and they're just writing the stuff themselves. What's the difference between The View and Drew Barrymore? I don't know. She's a pretty girl. We have to hate her more than we have to hate The View for some reason. These people are legitimately Dunning-Kruger low IQ. Like, fully left of the bell curve. The average... If you're watching Drew Barrymore, if you're watching The View, you're probably an idiot. What was that show? Lifetime. It's TV made for idiots. And besides all that, all these shows suck. I went and I looked up the top 10 streaming shows a couple weeks ago, and I watched a few of the series for a few episodes just to kind of like put my finger on the pulse. It was low budget, which is fine. Low budget is fine as long as you have good writing. But after the 2020 BLM riots, you can't have good writing anymore because everything is politically incorrect. So it's all safe, politically correct humor, which means it's globalist anti-humor, where they don't seek laughs because anything you laugh at is, yikes, my guy, toxic, male, marginalized, whatever, about the marginalized brown peoples of whatever a stan. Bad take, friend. Touch a grassy vagina. It's weird that to a leftist, their only validation comes from a woman's vagina and her acceptance and approval of you. Why would we care if some cat lady approves of us? The only women I care about are extremely far-right who would call me a bundle of sticks if my take on something is too soft. Right-wing chicks are the best. There's nothing cooler than a chick using sexual and racial slurs, which to a soy boy, when I say that, it sounds like sarcasm. Like, wait, are you serious? Yes, soy boy, you're just a pussy. Stop being a pussy and start laughing at things. They don't seek laughs, they seek applause, the confirmation bias stuff. Anyway, it's a very special evening with Hannah Gadsby. Yeah, you look at the audience like just what I expected. The San Francisco wine drinking, Prius driving crowd. I mean, they have like a Prius, and then they have a $200,000 AMG that gets 13 miles of the gallon. It's like, what? Just what? Oh no, you understand. The Prius is like for going to events where people see us, and the 13 mile to the gallon, 427 cubic inch V8. I'm sorry for the European people. It's like 7.2 liter V8 is that's for when we drive up to Tahoe or the Tahoe house, and then take the power boat out. And oh, okay, so the Prius is just all bull BS. Yeah, pretty much. I see how it is. The carbon footprint of these people who are telling you to reduce your carbon footprint is that they did that with Al Gore a few years ago. They looked at when he was getting big, and they looked at his mansion and the carbon footprint, and they added it all up. And like, this is like 10 homes. And he goes, well, it's a home office. It's still like 10 homes. And then someone went through the water consumption in Hollywood for people to water their lawns in California, which is in a permanent drought. I am in California. I don't save water at all, actually, because I figured if they didn't have enough stuff that they have to conserve, it's like, well, the door wouldn't be open to millions of high birth rate people. So I try to pollute as much as possible. So anyway, all this streaming stuff sucks. It's going to be rough. And I don't just mean from my jaded Hugo Boss crap on everything perspective, which, is kind of my wheelhouse. I think even if you're a soy person watching this stuff, you can admit it sucks, but it's kind of a parasocial relationship confirmation bias type of thing, where I think the left is bowling alone, if you read that book, much more so than the right, because we're trying to get people off the bread and circuses and into churches, pagan communities, a Satire, Odinism, trad life, garden, waffen, canning, and farmers market community, which is why these globalist writers in these women's magazines try to attack canning and prepping and farmers markets and trad life. Oh no, that's really evil. Well, there's an article in Rolling Stone from a couple weeks ago that go, why is the right wing so obsessed with seed oils? And you look at the writer, the author of the thing, why do you care if the right is, I don't even know what the hell a seed oil is, right? Is olive oil? Olive oil is not a seed oil, right? Because it's not the seed, it's the stuff around the seed, the insulation, the thing to get entice the animal to eat it so it poops it out somewhere. But like, if Rolling Stone is telling me something about the far right and something about seed oils, then I'm going to avoid seed oils like the toxic plague. That's all I need to know. No, I don't need to see the science. If Rolling Stone is against it, because I know what Rolling Stone is, then I know it's poison. Anyway, yeah. So they write these articles about like farmers markets and trad life, and any, it is. How far am I into this video? 7 minutes. What it is it's people who look like us doing things away from the all-seeing eye of Sauron, without the political commissars present to tell us things are politically incorrect, or you need diversity and inclusion. Like, no, I think we're done with that. Well, you can't say that. Yeah, we can. Because eventually, if enough people say it, the word is the life. You breathe it into existence by just saying it. No. We need to have political commissars to tell you to hate yourself. We don't. We love ourselves. That's what farmers markets and canning and prepping and gardening and trad life is all about. It's like just getting away from those political commissars who are trying to brainwash people to hate themselves. Anyway, so Hollywood has sucked for a long time, and it's going to get worse. The proof is people are listening to alt media like this instead of the mainstream media, though you probably didn't get this far in the video. If Hollywood disappears, hey, for YouTube, I just play it, let it play in the background. I'll get that sweet, sweet ad revenue. You got $1.40 for the video. It's like, yeah. Anyway, so if Hollywood disappears, people might have to actually talk to people IRL and form real relationships where they see each other's faces and they smell each other's pheromones, be the human animals that we were meant to be. That's 99.99% of humanity was reading facial expressions and smelling each other. Yes, that's how we're supposed to be. And yes, people are supposed to be hairy. Dear young people, if you want to get laid, get off the net. And there actually is a reason for women being hairy that I'll skip for now, but anyway, so dear young people, if you want to get laid, get off the net. I don't have a fetish, I swear to God. Get off the net and get into real life, because the girl working at the coffee shop is just looking to get stuffed. Yes, absolutely pick up on people in public. Same goes for women. If you see a guy that you can bring yourself to bang, you're going to have to go talk to him. Practice makes perfect. Guys, if you're walking on the trail and some woman comes up and says something, points out something kind of a nonsensible, but it's an opening. You're just going to have to talk her ear off until she walks away. That's the trick to, if you're a young man, you want to meet women, learn how to talk. I'm going to do a video on Subscribestar for that. It really is just boiling down to that simple, like, just keep talking at her, and eventually you'll be naked in bed together. I promise you it works. So the thing is with talking to people is like practice. You're just going to have to practice and accept a lot of defeat with a smile. Anyway, any advice from women's magazines telling you not to talk to women? You can ignore that. There's a whole long story about the subversion of women's magazines. Talk to the girl working at the store a few times, then give her your number. That's all you have to do. And then the ball's in her court. You don't continue to annoy her. That's it. You gave your number. It's up to her. The odds are decent that she is looking to F your brains out after she gets to know you and hopefully have some kids with you and form a life together. Because that's also what humans do. Oh, so the streaming market is oversaturated. There's like 30 or more services out there. There's probably room for Disney, Amazon, and Netflix. And really, Amazon and Netflix could probably just merge. And then a bunch of the other companies could just keep, coming back together. So right now they have venture capital money flowing in. And they're not profitable yet, and simultaneously the actors want residuals, but a lot of things are going on at once. The people, you look exactly like I expected you to look. The people at the top are overpaid, and I don't want, whatever they're writing, I don't want any part of. Yeah, the people at the top, the Zaslaw types are, paid millions a year. Yes, of course they're overpaid. They don't give a darn. And they're going to use artificial intelligence to replace writers and actors as much as they can, because F you, that's why. So in that regard, the strike is important for them, but also these shows are not getting the watch time and they're not making money like they used to. It's just simple math. I mean, look at the people. If these are the people writing the stories, like, you don't want anything that these people are writing, because it's all going to just can be some kind of racial grievance or misandry or anti-white or anti-Christian, anti-nation, anti-family kind of globalist, Marxist, socialist, Frankfurt School propaganda. There's nothing these women write that I would have any interest in. The thing is, it's simple math. The more shows there are, the less money from the subs. It just spreads thinner and thinner. But of course, not for the executives at the tops, because they don't care. They do things like if a show goes well, it goes 3 seasons. And okay, you're just too ugly to look at. Let's go. Even though she's older, she's still a cutie pie. If a show goes three seasons and everyone has got to get a bonus, a balloon payments increase as the show goes along, as you get a percentage of it. What they'll do is they'll just cancel the show. Say it's a teeny high school type of show. They'll cancel season 4 and replace it with teeny high school show in the Caribbean beach style, and they'll use the same people, but their salary will go back to base level. And when I say Hollywood's an example of the exceptionally bad industry, people don't understand how evil it is until they look into it. Weinstein gets away with stuff for 30 years because people want to be stars and they want money, so he's accepted, abusing starlets left and right, because to work with the FBI to take him down, it's like, oh, that might affect my bottom line. It's like, you're enabling a Weinstein type of guy who's like, to enable evil is to be part of the evil conspiracy. It's the same people who are doing Epstein's Island type of stuff. So the money is not in streaming yet, and probably won't ever, because like if you're in this industry and you don't think rumors go around, of course people know what's going on. It's like all you got to do is work the FBI and set up some hidden microphones, hidden cameras. It's not the impossible thing to do. So the money isn't in streaming yet, and probably won't ever be until the 30 plus companies merge into 3. And as for the AI and CGI stuff, where they're going to replace everything they possibly can. Yes, if you're an actor and writer in Hollywood, you're right to go absolutely to the wall to strike against that, to get hard contracts for the union, to just get rid of AI and that level of CGI and using people's rights after they're dead, and not, because they're just going to replace you. It's like if you don't fight for this, including like fighting for as long as it takes, you're going to be out of an industry eventually anyway. So it depends if you're looking for short-term money or long-term money. That is something, I personally, of course, if you're in this camp, you hope Hollywood goes up its own ass. But if you're in the industry, you're going to want to strike for that. And in the long term, yes, AI would kill Hollywood anyway, but Hollywood is deleting itself. So no matter, they're just like it's woke SJW cancer. So nothing they do is going to matter. They don't want to turn it around. They're not going to turn it around. The writers are 300-pound soy boys and short, blue-haired, fish-licking cat ladies who wear comfortable shoes. They write stuff that doesn't connect with the audience. There's nothing that's going to turn that around. It's the death spiral phase of the industry where it's turning kind of into theater, where live. What do you call it? People would go from town to town. You'd have a couple of actors go from town to town, and they do short Shakespeare plays, like scenes from Shakespeare. They set up a little stage, and they just do a couple scenes from Shakespeare, and people would pay money for the show. They'd donate vegetables, donate food, and donate money for the show, and people would make their like kind of vaudeville, but before vaudeville, it was just a couple of guys just doing scenes from Shakespeare and common plays, and that was it. And it was like, that's the entertainment that came to the small town. It was good enough for people to get a lot of these little abbreviated scenes from Shakespeare. It was awesome. I mean, you look back on the stuff, it's like, that's a community of people all coming together watching a live performance, and part, that's amazing. Anyway, that kind of switched to vaudeville, and then as the movie images came along, silent films came along, people switched to that. And you look back at the silent films, people were fascinated by silent films, and then the talkies came along, and before that it was theater. It was live theater and live operas and musicals and that kind of stuff. And then film kind of started to replace that, and it's like, well, yeah, film's not going to be forever either. There's streaming shows, and then there's the big screen, which is a separate. You have to go to a building, and they have it's occupied for that purpose. It's like, well, that might go away, and a lot of things might go away because they're just getting replaced by other things. They're getting replaced by assholes like me and you, and social media. There are guys who are doing Odyssey live streams who are making a ton of money doing it as a solid part-time job just on Odyssey. And if the smart ones spread out to Odyssey, Rumble, every platform that's out there, DLive, and it's like they're doing it, and they've got a few hundred or a few thousand people who are watching their stuff, because it's something real. People would rather listen to a istophobic, unpolitically correct real talk than these cum-drinking soy pussies who lecture us on how much they hate European people. It's like, why would I want to watch that? I think we're awesome. I think you guys are the problem. Please, Hollywood, strike forever. Go up your own ass. It's not going to disappear tomorrow. Theater didn't go away, and vaudeville went away, but live performances are still out there. It's just for a smaller audience, and you're going to the theater and you're paying hundreds of dollars for a ticket, where a movie screen is less than $20 in most areas, and then streaming is going to be $20 a month. You get the idea. Honestly, it's like you don't really need streaming. It's like, if you want to go see a movie, you probably would see like 2 movies a year. It's just cheaper just to go to the theater, watch those 2 movies a year, get the big screen experience where you're in the theater, you're eating popcorn, you're completely consumed by the movie, your phone is off, you're in the experience. Where if you're home watching a movie, you're not watching the movie. It's very difficult to concentrate at home on a tablet or even a big screen. We have the whole theater environment. You got a great sound system. You still have your phone in front of you, and like, you're still going to go to the kitchen for a beer, and it's just not the same. It's not, you're not in the experience like a big screen, and like, you're just paying for all this crap, and you look at it like, wait, I'm paying $60 for all the HBO and Hulu and Disney and the ESPN and Amazon and Netflix and all this kind of crap. You're like, wait a minute, how much do I watch per month? And you look at it like, okay, are you enjoying that crap? Is it worth? And you look at the stuff you enjoy, you're like, okay, I paid like $20 for this, or, $20 per show that I enjoy. It's like, yeah, that's not worth it. It's because most of the time you have something on in the background, you're scrolling through Twitter at the same time. It's like, wait a minute, like, you could just go sail the high seas for stuff, get a hard drive, a VPN, you download a couple of thousand shows to fill like 5 terabyte hard drives, and you're done. I mean, because like, most of the good stuff has been made before 2005. Like, the last thing you'd probably want to watch would be The Lord of the Rings, made about 20 years ago. I don't think there's anything after that that's really worth getting a hold of. Maybe Pirates of the Caribbean, the first 1 and 2 was pretty solid. But I mean, that's how rare good movies are. And like, you can just go collect, I mean, legally and lawfully, wherever your area is allowed by law, check, and get some hard drives and a VPN. And like, you can just, I'm not, someone who isn't me recommended this kind of stuff. They have hard drives just full of like every movie on earth. Because like a 5 terabyte hard drive, I'm trying to get this guy, this Rolo guy, one. It's like $120 for 5 terabytes or something. It's like, that stores a lot of movies. Like all the movies you'd ever, and kids shows, right? You got kids shows. You don't want them to watch the modern propaganda. So you just go, get a VPN and you find some legal downloads of kids shows from yesteryear, but they're politically incorrect. They use words that were okay 40 years ago, but not okay now. Yeah, have you ever considered that the people who are controlling the narrative now are evil? Like, anyway, um, so Hollywood's not going to disappear. It's just going to get smaller. And Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, biblically evil. Gab TV is going to take up market share. And even stuff like the weird paid subscription stuff like Subscribestar. And even Odyssey has a monetization thing where you can join the. I'm not I didn't bother monetizing on Odyssey. I use Subscribestar for that. But where you can join for a couple bucks a month and get, it's like that concept of like people are paying directly for what they want, and like anytime you're not paying Netflix or the mainstream is a good thing. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Join me over the Odyssey, the Subscribestar, Odyssey, BitChute, and the various other links. And I will see you guys all next episode.